Hello, everyone. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with all of you. My name is Carlos Gaitan, and I am from a small but very beautiful country called Panama. Today, I'm here to tell you a story of sacrifice, perseverance, and hard work, a story with a powerful message and the proof that you don't need to be born wealthy to become a successful entrepreneur. This is my story. And now I'll tell you how a 19-year-old kid made more than $20,000 from zero in just 20 days, and then founded my own company that today invoices more than $150,000 per year. This makes us be above the 85% of the companies in my country, since our economy is moved by small businesses, and we are starting to grow. For many of you, these numbers may not sound like anything special, but trust me that I've worked a lot to get where I am now at the GSEA Finals. From an early age, I was always very independent. My parents worked day and night to grant me a decent life. And as an only child, I had to learn to do most of the things by my own. However, they were always my main inspiration and support. And for that, I'll always be grateful to them. As soon as I got graduated from school, I started working in a fast food restaurant so I could help them pay for my education. It was there that I began to learn more about the food business and at the same time develop the mindset of wanting to become an entrepreneur. Of course, this would have been pretty simple if only I had the money to do it. I'm sure that most of you had had this feeling before of being so focused on reaching your goals that you feel you can't take any breaks till you get it, something that you would fight for even if it takes you a whole life to shift it. Well, that's how I felt every single morning I woke up.
Carlos,
I used
before
the
you
money that I made
continue, sorry to interrupt. Carlos, please can you share your screen? We've lost your slides.
Okay.
You're doing great. You're on a roll. You're amazing. Don't panic. Pull up the slides and just zoom forward to where you're up to. Are you ready?
Now you can see my slides.
I can see your slide. Are you ready to continue?
Yes, perfect.
Great. Go ahead.
I used the money that I made working in the restaurant to buy a couple of waffle makers, a freezer, and some of the tools I needed. And that's how my journey selling waffles filled with ice cream began. It sounds like a beautiful story, but it was only the beginning. The toughest part was yet to come. I took every single opportunity I had to start testing this product. My family and friends gave me the feedback and the support I needed so I could keep improving my product. And then I was ready to start attending the fairs at my hometown where thousands of people attended every year. For me, this was a huge risk since I had invested all of my savings. And if this didn't work out, I would have been left with nothing. Nevertheless, I had faith in my product and I was not willing to give up. In just 20 days, we were able to sell more than 6,000 waffles. Of course, I had to work nonstop, sometimes without eating. I even had to sleep on the floor most of the days. And all of this while attending university. But at the end, I can say it was worth. Attending the fairs was a huge success, and it provided me with all I needed to take the next step. Opening my first branch. My bank account went from having more than $20,000 to zero in less than a month. But despite that, I was very proud to have my first business open. I decided to expand the menu and start selling burgers and sandwiches with waffle shape, something that made us totally unique in the market. Our first year in the market went great. We had some struggles here and there, but nothing we couldn't really solve. But something that I'm sure took us all by surprise was the pandemic. Panama's government ordered the closure of almost all companies nationwide, causing irreparable damage to the economy. Haley's was closed for 3 long and difficult months. And there I was, wondering about what was coming next, thinking about how much I had sacrificed pursuing this dream, and I saw it falling apart in such a short time. Things got worse when my grandma, who always believed in me when no one else did, passed away. Before that, she even offered me to give me the little money she had from her retirement to keep my company alive. If things wasn't difficult enough, my father abandoned my mother and I in the worst moment. At the beginning of the pandemic, my mother was suspended from her job as receptionist, but she had many debts like our home and car, which could be taken away from us at any moment. My mother was very sad about my grandma's death, the divorce from my father, and all of her debts. Looking at such a brave and strong woman become so vulnerable broke entirely my soul. I had to find solutions to reopen Haley's and keep our home in peace. And we managed to do so, but this time it was only me and my mother. I prepared the orders by myself and my mother helped me deliver them. Thanks to what I learned at the university, I was able to develop effective marketing campaigns in social network that made us have a better position in the market. I was able to completely reinvent my company using delivery apps such as Uber Eats or Global, which became essential in our development. Little by little, our sales rose once again, and now Haley's is in the top 10 of the restaurants with most demand in the region, competing with more than 150 local restaurants and international franchises. Sales since the pandemic increased 65% 2 years before. The fact that despite only having 2 years in the market, we are competing against large companies such as McDonald's and KFC on these digital platforms fills me with pride. Unfortunately, most of the businesses did not survive this pandemic. Unemployment rate in Panama increased 20%, leaving thousands of Panamanians unemployed, people who are now struggling to put food on their tables due to this difficult situation. Now, I have a new goal. My vision with Haley's is to become one of the first Panamanian franchises to have an international presence, generating jobs to the population and contributing to the development of the society. I want to shift this through ghost kitchens, a business model that has been growing since the beginning of the pandemic, where most of the restaurants had to adapt to sell their products online. This business model does not require a lot of investments in terms of furniture or decorations. So the only thing that you need is a kitchen and a good positioning strategy in delivery apps, reducing the initial investment 25%, minimizing the risk and maximizing the return of the investment for a low-risk conservative expansion. I, by myself, already began this new process, and in the following weeks, I will open a second branch in another city of my country. And this slide, this information is 100% real based on my income statements. In 2019, we can see how, despite only having 19 years old, I was able to start my own business and make it profitable with little experience and without the help of any mentor. In 2020, despite being closed for several months, we managed to have a significant increase in sales. In 2021 and 2022, we can make projections of how Haley's would be growing and contributing to the economy if we begin to implement the use of ghost kitchens for a responsive and conservative expansion, increasing the company's income 25 up to 45% for each ghost kitchen that is implemented. Now that I've told you all the difficult moments that I've gone through and how I plan to scale up my company, I must tell you my main goal in this contest. Undoubtedly, even though this year the contest was virtual and I wasn't able to travel outside my beautiful Panama for the first time, I must say that I've learned a lot just by having the opportunity to participate. I've been able to connect with so many young entrepreneurs just like me from all over the world. I have witnessed such amazing ideas that go even beyond my understanding. And I'm sure these fellow entrepreneurs fight every single day to achieve a better world just like me. This makes me feel hope in our youth and in the upcoming generations. Nowadays, news are filled with negative information, even when there are so many positive stories that must be told, such as mine and all of the talented people here at EO. My wish is to keep writing this story. And even if I do not win this contest, I seek to encourage people like me who fight every day to get ahead and add value to their communities. Sharing this message that I firmly believe in, that with enough effort, you can build your way to the top, regardless of the adversities in your way. It only takes dreamers like us who fight every single day to make them come through. Thanks, EO, for the amazing opportunity to share my story, and a kiss to heaven to my grandmother, who I know will always support me wherever she is right now. Thanks.
Thank you, Carlos. That was incredible. I'm starving. Can you deliver a waffle-shaped burger, please, to Tanzania for my dinner? Okay, there's the bell. Well done. Great energy, great slides. Thank you so much. Let's move to the judges. I can't see any hands yet. Judges, I'm sure you've got lots of questions. Who would like to go first? Don't be shy, judges. Okay, Daniel.
Carlos, incredible. And I love the way you stood up to finish your presentation. Fantastic. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, my friend?
Well, in 5 years, I see myself being the CEO of one of the first Panamanian franchises that have international presence. As I said before, generating jobs to the population and contributing to the development of the society. And even in the future, I may be a mentor to young people like me who fight every day to get ahead and tell them that even if you have a lot of challenges in your life, you can succeed with enough effort and having passion for what you do.
Thank you, Carlos. Next judge, please. Question. I'm looking for hands. Okay, Kuram.
Carlos, that was an amazing presentation. I salute you for it. My question to you is, how do you balance your educational life and the business? How do you do it together?
Well, I may say that being an entrepreneur is pretty complicated. I must say that at the beginning, between my university and my business, I didn't have like a lot of free time because I was meant to get up early in the morning, like 6 a.m., go to the university. At noon, I had to open my business and start attending clients. Like 11 p.m., I had to close my business, and I only had like 3 or 4 hours a day, and I used those hours to make my homeworks and all this stuff needed to for the university. But that this didn't bother me a lot because I knew that this was part of the sacrifices I needed to make in order to succeed. And well, I really enjoyed working in my own company rather than someone else's company. And well, now that my business is like pretty autonomous, I may say that now I have a lot of free time that I can spend to my university and even to my friends or family. So yes.
Thank you, Carlos. We'll go to Jessica and then Rosemary.
Thank you. I'd like to just expand on the university question. Are you, because that was my question, but I want to go a little bit deeper. When do you graduate, and what is it like for you now that you're getting this real world experience? How do you feel about the in-classroom experience?
For the first question, I haven't graduated yet. I have 21 years. I am missing like 1.5 years for being for graduating from the university. But I may say that it's going to be hard for me to maintain my business and at the same time going to the university. But as I tell you before, now that I have a lot of free time, I'm going to take I will take deeper to the university. And well, at first, with the first year, even though I spent a lot of time in my business, my grades were like A. Well, I don't know how do you like qualify in your country, but I was like excellent grades.
Thank you.
It's because my mother always is like, you have to go to the university and everything is going to be all right. You need to study a lot, even though you have a business. I recognize that you had an incredible effort to start your own business, but you don't have to leave university because, well, I know that it's pretty important to keep looking forward to develop your knowledge.
Thank you, Carlos. We'll go to Rosemary, then Bob.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Carlos. That was an excellent presentation. You said this is your second language. You speak it perfectly. So my question.
I try, but I'm like pretty nervous because it is like pretty difficult for me because well, as you say, it's not my native language, but well, I only live once, and I am going to make the try to do it.
Great effort. Thank you. I wanted to ask you about your teamwork. Who do you work with? How did you put your team? You can't do this alone, right? So tell us about who you work with. Who did you have to engage to make this into a reality for you? And when you pivot into your ghost kitchen as well.
Well, I may say that, well, as I said in my presentation, I didn't have a mentor. I do now don't have a mentor, but I can say that part of my team and one of the person that I value the most is my mother. She has always been with me since the first time, and even though that we have gone through difficult situations, she is always beside me. And as I said before, even at the beginning of the pandemic, where I had my business closed for many months, she was always willing to help me. And if without her help, I wouldn't made it to till now, because well, I'm prepared. I prepared the burgers and sandwiches by myself, and she helped me deliver them to my clients that I got in social media. So without her, this wouldn't be possible. Without her, I won't even be here representing Panama today in the GSEA finals.
What a blessing to have such a supportive mom. I'm sure she's so proud of you. Hi, Mom. Bob, and then we'll go to Karam.
Carlos, I love your story. You're not alone. I was a student entrepreneur as well, and I know that journey, and you're not missing out on anything. As I told my son, you can have fun, but I was building a business when I was your age in college, and you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. It's been an amazing journey, an amazing life that I've created, and you will create the same one. The question I have for you is, we talk about the pandemic a lot. We talk about challenges entrepreneurs face. Some would look at this and say it's an obstacle, but I believe entrepreneurs look at this and say, what gift did I get from it? What lesson did I learn? So could you share with us what you learned about yourself, maybe what you learned about your business through, something that nobody could have imagined happening in the world?
Well, I may say that at first, at the beginning of the pandemic, I thought that I was going to get into bankruptcy. I think it says, because since I told you in my presentation, my business selling waffles with ice cream was powered by going to the fairs in my hometown. But before the pandemic, just like 1 or 2 weeks before the pandemic, I had invested like all the savings I had from my first year in the business. I invested in that event, and well, I invested all of my money because the first time I was only selling waffles filled with ice cream. But now this year, 2020, I was going to sell both products, the burgers and sandwiches with waffle shape and the waffles filled with ice cream. And I can say that it was pretty difficult for me, thinking about losing all I have built with all my sacrifice that I have made through those years. And well, something that the pandemic, I learned from the pandemic is that you don't have to give up. Every obstacle is, you are like a little bit further in your life, and every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. And now, despite the pandemic affected many businesses, we made it, and now we are experiencing a lot of increase in sales, and I really feel amazing with this.
We've got less than a minute. Karam, quick question and a quick answer.
I'll be very quick. Carlos, what is your competition, and how do you feel that you'll manage them?
Now our competition is we're in the top 10 of the restaurants with most of the most demanded in the region, competing with even KFC and McDonald's. And something that I've seen is that we compete with them because our prices are like pretty the same, but we deliver to people fresh products without the use of conservative and fresh vegetables, and we have like the same prices and almost for the same price. So I think that and also Haley's is the best. Haley's has the best customer satisfaction in this digital platform.
You up there. Carlos, time is up. We have to be super strict with time. Sorry to cut you off mid-sentence. Thank you very much for an excellent presentation.
May I say one last thing, please?
Go on. 10 seconds.
Mom, if you're watching this, I may say that I've learned a lot of you, and I made it to these finals, and even I know that you are very proud of me, and you are always willing to help me. And I can say that I made it to the finals, and I'm pretty proud of myself. And if without you, this wouldn't be possible. I'm going to encourage all young people like me who fight every day to get ahead. and still, and you can always fight for your dreams, even if you have many challenges. Thanks.
Okay, Carlos, we're all crying now. Thank you. Thank you very much for that heartfelt testimonial to your mom. I hope she's watching.